People have been watching the fire in California.
Oh my
That's
God.
amazing
Yeah.
and horrifying. Yeah.
I'm sure other fire companies will come from around the country to help them.
Yeah, like
People have been
with
watching the
100-mile-an-hour winds, no wonder the trees.
Saw a post from Mike Rowe, who was sitting at his apparently kitchen table, and out his window you can see the fires in the distance. While he
Oh.
had his Facebook page open showing the fires in the distance. Alrighty. So we got 10 people in. Here comes Shirley.
Sorry, my had to be rebooted, which took forever. Sometimes it's nothing, other times it takes me forever to do it. Let's see.
Hey, Kevin, haven't seen you in a long time. How you
Oh,
been?
okay. How you been?
Very well, thank you.
Same old group.
Yeah,
A little older, a little
just a little
gray.
older, right?
Except for us women, we don't go the gray route there.
Well, I
All
gotta
right.
say, Kevin, those snow white eyebrows, along with your red hair, are quite an interesting
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah, they really reflect this lighting. They really reflect it.
Yep.
Well, it's nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Hey, do we have enough people that you want to start or
Yeah, go ahead. We're already late.
okay. All right. Well, welcome to our official January 8th, 2025 Apple Cider meeting. Um, I don't really have much to report. Steve is usually the guy who runs the place, but um, I don't think I have anything to say to the. All right, Steve, want to start with whatever you want to start? News is what you usually do. I
Yeah,
guess we'll get going then.
it was actually kind of a quiet um, news cycle with the holidays. Let me share my tab. So one of the biggest things showed up on Apple's website is they're really pushing their Apple Fitness. That was at the top of the website for a long time, and King Charles was there. So this, yeah, King Charles came to the Apple headquarters in early December. Not sure why. Why not, right? Um, but Apple did reveal the 2024 most downloaded apps. And I want to see what's going to show me that. Yep, here we are. So, Timu was the most downloaded app,
Oh no.
which is interesting, and that's sort of the potluck. You either get crap or you get something pretty good for really cheap.
You
And
know, there was a lot of controversy about that because they were taking up too much space in air freight.
really,
Yeah.
I saw an ad the other day for a massive toolbox collection. It was like three or four different sections of a toolbox. I'd guess it's like 5 grand for all these things together. It was on sale at Temu for $4.95 with free shipping.
What?
Did you get it?
For $5, I almost want to get it.
I've ordered a couple of things for them and they were fine. And my girlfriend orders clothes, a lot of clothes.
Well,
But
There's
it's just really eliminating the middleman that goes to the distributor that,
Yeah, a lot of times it's rejected stock from some larger company.
right. Yeah.
Um, Sometimes
Or-
the scale is off, so maybe that giant toolbox set is for a dollhouse.
Well, I know I ordered a bird feeder, just a long cone bird feeder that in the video showed a man with this great big huge one, and he's putting bird feed in it, and he's showing all these different squirrel things, tactics. The squirrels won't use it. It swings around. So I thought, okay, the price was fairly decent. Finally, it comes from China. It's like half the size. It's like cheap metal, and I did use it for a little bit, but it didn't do anything because it got all the food got clogged in the bottom, and I ended up throwing it out.
I think you can return things. I don't know if
Well,
you
by
have
the
to
time
pay.
we got to that point, but I spent like $35 on this, and it was probably
Oh,
worth $6.
yeah.
So I was like, cheap crap, right? But then some people say they get nice stuff. So I don't know, what is it you're
Luck of
ordering
the
versus
draw.
other things?
Oh, I ordered an RFD wallet for $5. That was good.
Okay.
And then what else? I ordered a couple other things and they were,
So I guess maybe sometimes it's what you order.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, the thing about the size, um, I guess you really have to look for
Where's the dimensions?
yeah.
But
And, and don't put your credit card information in. Only use PayPal.
right, right, because you
It's
don't know.
right.
I mean, in some of the places I look at that advertise clothes and stuff, I'm wary of ordering from them because I'm like, is this just a cheap copycat shot site? Am I going to get the same problem because, it popped up and said, oh, and it looks nice and you get it? Am I going to be losing my money again over cheap crap that doesn't look like it's advertised? Who
Yeah.
knows?
I mean, my girlfriend has ordered a lot of blouses and they really look nice. The ones
Oh,
I've seen.
okay. And she's getting it through Timu?
Yes.
Okay.
You
Well,
know, you have to be careful when you get that bundle or
uh-huh,
sometimes, and then you get to the end and you have to pay money.
uh-huh.
When they lead you to believe that that might not be the right one, but sometimes they lead you to believe that it's all going to be free.
Uh,
And then you pick out your items and then you get to the end and you have to pay for it.
okay. You want to make sure you're paying the right price
Correct.
for what you think you should be paying versus what they think you should be paying.
Correct. It's just to give, a come on to get you to buy things
Right.
that you might not ordinarily buy, but if you getting them free,
I might buy a dragon lamp.
a dragon.
The dragon lamp.
Oh yeah, I see. Oh,
For $11.
Hmm.
I don't know. I might be a little wary of that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, I guess it
8
depends
inches
on
by 4
what you're
inches.
getting.
okay. It's 71 cents,
Wow.
and I look at how many are sold. I mean, I assume that's somewhat accurate.
Yeah. So again, you gotta pay attention.
Right.
So I guess that's a big thing. So, but I guess everybody loves it, right? If it's the number one app.
Number one downloaded free app. What was
Okay.
one of the things I always wonder is free apps are easy to download. You look at it once and then forget about them, and you never use it again, but you never
Use it.
delete it. But it was downloaded. Sometimes the same thing on the games. So especially the free games. There's so many ads in the free games; they're almost impossible to play. And the paid games. Oh, haven't heard of most of these.
Oh, Minecraft. My grandson
Yeah,
plays that.
Minecraft is very popular. So popular that Microsoft bought them.
Hmm. And the other one I saw back there was the Call of Duty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Call of
that's
Duty Mobile.
And
That may
yeah,
require
Yeah, I mean, that's usually an expensive game.
Yeah. So let's see, is this the actual game or does that tie into the real game you're playing on the console?
Oh, and you can only do it on the iPhone or the iPad, not like on Xbox.
Yeah, then you pay the full $60 for the game on the consoles.
Yeah.
The bigger trick is in-app purchases. There we go. So
Yes, yes.
you want all the extra stuff that's going to cost you more. So
Yeah.
somebody had posted a meme about the absurdity of these in-app purchases, and it was a warning that you've run out of clicks on your mouse. You've used your 10,000 clicks this month, and so if you want to click your mouse again, you need to buy an expansion pack to get more clicks. So you can buy the 5,000 pack for $10, or you can get the unlimited pack for $20 per month. It's just absurd enough to be potentially true. So it's interesting how they break it down into regular apps, games, and arcade apps. So in let's see, in paid, the top paid app is a proxy utility for blocking bad things on the internet. Because it's only $2.99. Oops.
Steve,
Yep.
I raised my hand, but that didn't get anywhere.
Oh,
So
yeah, I wasn't looking at that screen. Sorry.
there's one thing, that's all right. There's one thing, just parenthetically, I want to mention about buying stuff online. And this was a little while back, but a couple ordered a bunch of stuff from some sketchy website, not Temu that I know of or anything like that. And they were so unhappy with the crap that they had ordered and gotten that they went onto some other website and made a comment about it. And the company that they had ordered this crap from sued them because hidden in the purchase agreement was a non-disparagement clause. And so what happened was they were either going to get, quote, fined $3,000, or they had to remove their comment from that other site, which they could do for a fee of $2,000. So be careful who and where you badmouth anybody.
Yep.
Um,
There was a British company a few years ago that added a joke clause at the end of their like Christmas deal special that you would sell the soul of your firstborn for £1, and hardly anyone unclicked it. So then after Christmas, I started sending out emails saying, you know, all right, you paid £1, send us your soul.
yeah. You might bump the YouTube volume up a little bit if you can. You're coming through okay, but I haven't heard anybody speak from the audience in a while. So, and they were not as Linda was not as loud as you were, but Linda is not as loud as you are. So,
All right,
I thought maybe I
that up.
could see better on the YouTube. But it doesn't like it
Sometimes.
when I. Oh,
All right, my computer
Forget it.
volume is up
Forget
all
it.
the way.
forget it. Just going to stick with Mastermind.
All
I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
And then here are the Mac app winners. App of the year was for well, no, this is not app. This is just all apps again. Kino is a really popular photo editing app and photo adjustment app. so you can adjust the curves and all sorts of extra things. Um, a music app, interesting. No, wait, that's not music, that's math, is it? I can't even tell what it is. Yeah, that's music. E major 7 over A. See, that could be math too. Math and music. Mac app of the Lightroom, if you do a lot of photo editing. Although I did just read Adobe is shutting down their $10 a month photography plan, and they want you to go to the bigger plans now, so that's annoying. And the What If TV series has a companion Apple Vision app, so you can work through the Apple Vision. And you've got the monitor. There was Doctor Strange and Wong. So if you're into the Marvel Studios, that was a big thing for the Mac apps.
Are you
And then,
sharing your screen?
yes,
So whenever, if I have to leave and come back, I can't get the video back. It like disappears if I'm not on when you start it. And I came upstairs from the lobby, and now I can't see.
I don't know. It should be in a window.
Log out and log back in.
No, that's what kicks me out. Like if I have to be logged in before you start screen sharing, or I can't see it.
Okay, well then go to the Apple Cider org and click on Masterminds or what YouTube, whatever you do.
No,
This
I
is-
mean I have to be on first. Like I get kicked
That-
out
that-
of the video
that doesn't
when I
make any
log
sense.
out and come back in.
Yeah, that doesn't
I
make
don't
any
know.
sense.
Well, I know it doesn't make sense in theory, but that's the way it is.
This is the first time I've ever used the Mastermind Lounge thing. I'm using it on my iPad, and when Steve first did the screen sharing, it went crazy, and I had to quit it and start back over and turn off the screen sharing. So it's working now, but I don't think I'll want to enable screen sharing anymore.
That's weird. Well, you shouldn't be able to share your screen.
No, I turned something off that I hope prevents me from trying to ever see screen sharing. So if you're doing screen sharing, I can't see it. It's just so that it doesn't crash here.
I know it works best in Chrome, but it should be okay on the other platforms.
Hmm.
Let me go to listen.
I'm using iPad with Safari.
Yeah, I just brought in my iPad and seems to be okay.
I just accidentally kicked myself out.
I'll let that open for a while.
Is Shirley on
Switch.
iPad?
No, I'm on the computer.
Oh, okay.
But
So you don't want to try it. I was wondering once you logged out and came back in if it let you see the screen sharing, but you don't even want to try it, right?
Not me.
At one point, it seems to me, I tried to join Mastermind Lounge from Safari. I can't remember if it was on the Mac or on the iPad, and it wouldn't let me do it at all. It said I had to use Chrome, I think.
Oh, I use Safari
On a computer or a tablet?
computer. I tried it on my iPad, but I just didn't seem to get anything right.
Okay.
Probably
I'll
user
try
error.
Chrome.
Now, I'm using my computer on Chrome, trying to get on Chrome. It won't let me, and it has something comes up that indicates you have to do something special if you have green light for your internet provider.
You're clicking the wrong link. Go back to the CIDER page and refresh the page.
Someone's using the big washer. My floor is shaking.
Are we still on news or have we gone into Q&A?
Well, it seems like we've gone into Q&A.
Was there any more
mean-
news or not?
Not that I know of. I don't want to do too much about CES until we get into that itself.
Okay.
Rick,
So if I go back to here,
Rick,
I
did
can
you
stop
have
sharing
something you
that
wanted to
screen.
bring up to Q&A?
Oh, I just had a question.
Okay, I have something I want to talk
I
about.
did.
It's not urgent, and you go ahead if you want.
Okay,
See,
mine
now
was a
you said you're going back to share, and now I have it because you did it after I was already on. But if I leave and come back, I lose it.
Is there screen sharing happening right now?
No.
No, but the screen's there. Like it changes screens. Like I see on the phone, I have two people, and then I have to scroll, and I get two people at a time. Or I can hit the little sharing button, and then it puts everyone at the top, and I get the screen sharing on the bottom. But I mean, right now it's just welcome to Big Blue Button, but it's there. But
That's you are sharing your screen out, which you don't have the option to do. That's for sharing a
no,
presentation on your
but
computer.
but that's how I can see your presentation on the phone
It shouldn't
is by
work that way.
clicking that button
It didn't work that way for me.
on your phone.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That just turns on my um, presentation to serve from the phone,
Well,
which you
but you're
can't do
always
because sharing is not enabled for other people, only for me.
right, but you're sharing your so you're not trying to look at someone else's sharing because you're sharing. So or, or if, are you logging in as a different person on the phone?
Yeah, I'm not logged in at all.
You what?
I'm not logged in at all
Uh,
on
like when you
the
logged in on
phone
your
or the iPad.
oh, but like when you were on your phone, were you logged in as like you the host or someone else?
I'm not logged in at all as anybody.
Oh, but I thought you said you logged in on a phone.
I opened it on the phone, but I'm not logged in.
Oh, oh. What's the difference?
When you click the login button and enter your username and password.
So what am I right now? What do you call it? Am I logged in or
I have no idea.
uh but okay, so when you were on the phone, were you the host or
No,
were you okay. So when you hit the little the screen sharing button on your phone, what happened?
it shows me the presentation that the phone can serve, but no one is allowed to share yet, so it doesn't do anything.
Did it switch the screen and show you the welcome to Big Blue button?
Yeah, that's the presentation on the phone.
Right. I mean right now there isn't one, but that's how you see the presentation on the phone.
Right, that's how you present something from your device if I make you a presenter.
But that's how I see yours on the phone.
I don't. I don't know what you mean. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know why your phone is working different.
well, when you start presenting, then open your phone and tell me what happens when you hit the screen button. When I hit the screen button, it goes back and forth between seeing people and then seeing the people and the presentation.
Right, because you're telling the software you want to present something.
But that's how I see yours.
if she's talking about the screen button that's next to the hand.
Right, that's how you present something to the rest of the lounge.
That's right. And if you just hover over it and there's no screen being shared, it says restore presentation.
Right.
No, now you're
And that brings
sharing
the
your
right, and that brings the
no
presentation for that device out.
Mm-hmm.
because
And now
now
we're
there's
looking at a presentation.
Right, but if I hit that button, it takes away the presentation and just shows me two people with arrows right and left to see more people. Then I hit that button again and I see the presentation.
Because it says minimize presentation if you hit it while there's a presentation active.
So it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do.
Right. I'm seeing the presentation. And if I click the button, I can get rid of the presentation and see people bigger. And then click it again, and I can see the presentation and people small. But if I log out and come back in, now that the presentation's on, that button will do nothing.
Well,
And I can't get the presentation.
Don't log out.
Don't log out.
Well, oh, sorry if that's the wrong word. But I mean, sometimes I get kicked out, like, the elevator.
You close the window?
Huh?
You close the window?
Close the window. Close what window?
The lounge window.
Why?
You just said you'd get kicked out. What does that mean? Does that mean you close the window?
Well, I mean, if I get off the Wi-Fi and come to a different Wi-Fi, then I have to rejoin.
Well, then you're disconnecting from the internet, so that will break the connection and
Right.
stop it from working.
And then I have to rejoin. And
That's correct.
When I rejoin, am I using the right word? Well, I maybe login was the wrong. So when I rejoin the meeting and the presentation's already going, I can't see the presentation.
All right, so maybe it's a bandwidth issue if you're switching over to some other network.
No, I mean, it works. I just have to be in the meeting before the sharing starts. If I leave and rejoin the meeting, I can't see the sharing if it's already going on.
All right, well, if you can see the presentation right now, let's just go with that because we need to move on with the meeting.
Yeah, but I'm saying that little button, that's the one that lets me see it. But if you know a reason how I can get it when I come back in, then you can let me know sometime.
All right. Does anyone have a computer question we can answer?
I do.
Rick? All right, go ahead, Kevin, and then we'll do Rick, and then we'll do Charlie.
Okay. I'm using my iPad, and I recently got some sort of software update from Apple, the OS update, and now my Safari is enforcing that I have to use secure websites, and I want to turn that off so that I can freely use insecure websites. How do I set? I looked around for such a setting, and I can't figure out what it is.
I have not seen that setting. I don't have it on my device.
Until
You could
this
use
last,
Firefox instead.
I could, yes, that works. Although I'd like to be able to do the same thing on Safari as well.
This is all...
Surely there must be some setting, and I just am unable to find it.
There probably is. Apple likes to hide things.
It's usually the other end. The website can force a secure connection and prevent you from getting in without security.
Well, it's a website that serves both HTTP and HTTPS. And on my other machines, if I enter the HTTP, it shows me the website. If I enter the HTTPS, it says there's a problem, like the certificate is no good or something like that. But I want to use the HTTP, and I type that in manually. And up until this software update about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3, I could do that just fine on the iPad with Safari, and now I can't. And I want to be able, if I type in HTTP, if I type in HTTP, if I type in HTTPS, if I type in HTTPS, if I type in HTTP, if I type in HTTPS, 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 if I on this iPad Safari. I think it'll show it, but it not too long after that, it switches it to HTTPS. So if I use a bookmark or recently visited, it doesn't remember the fact that I was using HTTP.
Do you mind giving us the site name and I can try it on my iPad?
Okay, the site name, either HTTP or HTTPS. I expect it to fail on anything on HTTPS, so you need to use HTTP. The website name is Theater Organs, all one word. Theater, THEATRE, organs, plural. And I think it's actually .com.
Let's see if we can look at.
Yes, .com.
So this is not a secure website. Let me try it on the iPad. EATRE-ORGANS. Most of the browsers are now warning you when you're on a non-secure website.
Well, if it just
But it
says,
doesn't prevent you. It just says non-secure.
if it's a small line at the top before the URL, I can ignore that, but I don't want it to give me a whole screen saying stay out of this website.
It's in the URL window where it says not secure.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
Yeah, and I got
I mean,
to it no problem on my iPad. Let's see. What OS are you on?
it's an iPad 10. And I reasonably keep up with
7.
the updates. Let me see what it is.
Be running like 18.2.
Well, I'm going there to see what it is. Yes, it is a iPad OS 18.2.
Oh, okay, you're current then.
Yeah, I mean, it was this last update that something changed and it's acting this way.
Have you tried a hard reset of your iPad, if that can be done?
What does that mean?
In the old days, it used to mean holding the power button and the home button at the same time and holding them down until the thing rebooted.
So basically turning the power off and on again?
A little like that, yeah. It would sort of
Okay. I just
do
don't want
that,
it to be...
and sometimes it helps to quit a bunch of other apps too if you've been running a lot of apps simultaneously.
Well, no, this is I just got the message on my phone. This is a legitimate message, and they're warning you that it's an insecure site, and you can continue anyway if you know it's not secure.
Well, I'm hoping that it's like 2 words in your URL box and nothing more than that.
It's an interdiction page, and then you have to click view anyway.
Okay, well, for me right now, the view anyway still doesn't work. I really don't want an interdiction page either.
Too bad. That's a feature of Safari to prevent people from going to insecure websites.
But websites
Like I said, use Firefox.
Yeah, well, I may have to, but there are things about Firefox that I don't like as well.
The problem is their security certificate expired in 2019, and anyone who hasn't bothered updating their security certificate in 5 years, you probably shouldn't visit.
Well, I want to use HTTP, and HTTP should not care about certificates.
Right, but the website is apparently been set to use HTTPS.
You
might want to discuss it with the website.
I did mention it to the webmaster. He says he doesn't want to have to edit thousands of web pages.
He just has
he
to
doesn't. He just has to
renew his
take care of renewing his
renew his certificate. It's free now from Let's Encrypt and others.
Maybe you can help him with that, Kevin, if you know how that works.
I think something about the website is using GoDaddy, which I don't know if that's deprecated or suspicious.
No, that's who issued the certificate.
And are they still okay?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're still around.
it's just it
Okay.
expired in 2019.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll mention that to the webmaster, but it's annoying that if I specify HTTP, that the iPad now seems to see that there is an HTTPS and go that automatically, and I really want to avoid the HTTPS.
That's a setting in the web code at the other end.
Okay, so there's something in his HTTP web page to say that says go to HTTPS.
Yes.
Yeah, it's probably forwarding.
Um,
The other thing is, Steve, there used to be the Secure Socket Layer website that gave them out for free. What was it? Encrypt.
well, Let's Encrypt is the only one I know of.
Let's Encrypt. That's the one I was thinking about. So they
That's
have
what I
the
said a few minutes
free
ago.
Secure Socket Layers. So you can
Well,
tell
no,
that to your webmaster
they
friend.
issue free certificates.
Yeah.
Let me see if there's a setting in Safari settings. My guess is there is no way to stop the security.
Okay. Well, on my desktop Mac, if I copy and paste the URL which in Safari on the desktop Mac, the URL doesn't even show HTTP whatever, but if I copy and paste it, I do get HTTP without the S. So
Yeah,
it
here it
didn't
is.
redirect.
Not secure warning is in Safari preferences, so you can turn that off.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Let me go there and try.
Let's see. Remember, we did that on the Soundbites website to force HTTPS connection. It's a yeah, you have an HTTPS file on the root of your website, and it will force visitors to use HTTPS.
What's that setting called?
You have a file. The setting, not secure connection warning. You can turn it off in Safari preferences.
On my iPad.
I'm on the iPhone, but it should be the same on the iPad. I don't have OS 18 on the iPad.
I have the not secure connection warning already turned off. Fraudulent website warning turned off.
Alright, so we turn that off here. And then on the website, if
I will
yeah.
go all out and clear history and website data.
Yeah, so I got to the page on my phone with OS 18 once I turned that off. But I still get a non-secure warning in the address bar.
Well, I'm back. Clearing the cookies killed Mastermind Lounge, but I'm back.
Alright, yeah, I got into the site once I turned that off on my phone. It still says not secure in the address bar. So there's several things happening. It's looking for secure websites. It's looking for known fraudulent websites. And if the other end has the HTTPS file forcing a secure connection, and then their certificate is expired, you're going to keep getting that message until their certificate is updated, or they remove that secure
Okay.
file.
Well, it worked for me right now, but I guess it'll remain to be seen whether I try it again tomorrow and it works.
And there is also a preference where you can show the full address bar, including the HTTP and HTTPS.
Oh, okay, that's good to know because
Yeah.
I do prefer to see all that stuff.
Yeah. You go into Safari Preferences, and under Advanced, there's a show features for developers, and that gives you a develop menu, which you can then turn on. No, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong place. Show full website address.
Is it still under advanced?
Let's see. Yes.
I don't see anything
Let me
that
see
show
if
full address.
let's see if the same thing is on the phone. It may not do it on the phone because of the limited screen size.
I'm on iPad.
Let me see. Yeah, I'm seeing it on my iPad. I know it just says not secure because I'm on that page. Website settings. No, I'm sorry. It isn't showing me the HTTP in the page, not until I tap on the URL.
Mm-hmm.
So it shows me the padlock, which indicates a secure page,
Mm-hmm.
or no padlock, which is and then it says not secure.
That's fine.
And then when you tap on it, it shows you the HTTP or not.
It's working that way for the mastermind URL too. So maybe that's working okay now.
Apparently, Tim Berners-Lee had said that no one was ever supposed to see the HTTP. It's an insecure warrant. So you might be stuck. Well, or not. If they have the HTTP access file at their end, forcing secure connection, and then you try to go in with a non-secure connection, you get the warning too.
Is that something that's within the HTML, or is it some separate thing on the server?
It's a file on the root of the server.
It's on
Okay,
the
so
server. Yeah.
I can't see it just by looking at their HTML then.
I don't believe so.
No,
Okay.
all you can
I
do
don't
is look
think
at
so.
their certificate.
Okay. Well, I'll mention it to him. I doubt that he'll want to do anything about it.
And you can tell them that there's free certificates. It used to be very expensive for a security SSL certificate, but now they're free.
Do you know the source for free certificates?
Let's Encrypt.
Say that again.
Let's Encrypt.
LETS encrypt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Source. Find. HT. No, yeah, it's not in the HTML code. It's at the root of the website in the file structure of the web server.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we'll see if what I did here today changes anything. I don't think I really changed anything, but it was working right now.
Cool. That's an interesting site for the old organs.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of buttons on some of those.
Mm-hmm.
I keep getting emails from Hapaj wanting to sell me their new virtual organ that they just recorded from some great cathedral.
Hmm.
so I can play the organ in that style,
Hmm.
which are
Yeah,
thousands
there's
of
a
dollars.
there are those things that those virtual pipe organs exist. I haven't gotten into it so far. Have enough involvement with the real ones.
Every time I drive down to Bristol, I go past the that pipe organ place.
Uh-huh.
Alrighty, anything else? Or did we cover it
Not for
for
me.
you? All right, Rick, why don't you go ahead?
All right, I just had sort of a technical question dealing with iPhones and their flashes. I know that you can turn on the flashlight, which uses that little LED, and so that you can find your keys and that type of thing. Um, and I understand that that probably is the same thing that's used when you take a picture with your camera app on the iPhone. And I'm wondering, is there a difference when you tell it to do the flash for the camera in lumens as opposed to just turning it on to be a flashlight?
I don't know specifically about the camera, but I know as a flashlight you can control the luminosity by sliding your finger up and down
Mm-hmm.
in the control center. Where is it?
Okay. Do you know if that's accessible via an external app other than using the iOS interface?
I don't know.
If you know what I mean.
So
Like,
I'm sliding up. So right now I've got the flashlight on, and I can change the luminosity of it.
yeah.
Um, so there might be an API for the flashlight intensity. Let's see. API, iPhone, flashlight. Flashlight state. Territory, date, platform, device, ability. Maybe.
Your answer's as good
That's,
as my question, I
yeah.
guess.
So that's just analytics. So you can tell how often the flashlight was used. That's an interesting option. So here's somebody wrote a application that accesses the flashlight. So it looks like there is one. You just got to find the API in Apple's documentations.
All right, thanks for looking that up for me.
Oh, it's called an AV capture device. Maybe. Flash. Yeah, flash. Torch. Oh, because Johnny Ive is British, they call it a torch.
Since the LED is variable brightness, I would think that if you used a different camera app, it might give you access to dim it down or change it to something. But you'd have to find a different camera app.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was hoping that maybe I could include it as part of an interface for another project, but
I thought there was a way to change the color in the Apple app too,
yeah.
because that's what a lot of the third-party flashlights can do.
All right, well, more research is required. Thanks for starting me off.
You need to check with one of the developer forums probably. So as of 2021, there was no way to change the color. Here's one from 23. I could see that being an Apple featured with the Apple camera. When you're taking a flash, it can adjust the colors to fill in the flash. Well, here's a YouTube
Today I
video.
would
Let's
like
see
to
how well
talk
the
about
YouTube video
flashlight on the
works
iPhone. I'm gonna
inside
show
a
you how
YouTube
to change
video.
from looking like this to this. I used to make this kind of video before, but now we can update in 2024. So if you take a look on the
Of course,
flashlight on your
just put your
iPhone,
finger in front of it and
it
then
is not
going
one, but
through your
you have 4 flashlights
hand.
inside here, where usually it
There's,
only use combined together. But with this one, we're gonna use only
But it's so
the
close to the lens, at
yellow
least on
one.
mine.
So when I find something like this, you can see it kind of
With what
turn
little I
into
use my
yellow.
camera, if I
So
try
let me turn
taking
off this
both
one.
with
If
and
I
without flash,
enable the normal
it
flashlight,
almost
you
always
can
is
see
better
the
without
color is
flash,
very different. To
as
be
far as
able
how
to
the
make
image
it
works.
work, all you have
Yeah,
to
it
do, you
depends how
need to
close
go
you are
into
to
the
it
App
and how
Store,
much light you're
and
casting onto the subject.
it looks like they're using a third-party app. So it is possible through third-party apps to access the flashlight and adjust the color temperature. So hopefully
I can find
you can
something.
find something
Thanks.
in a developer forum, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Charlie, I think you were next, weren't you?
Yeah. On a previous meeting, I brought up the problem of seeing something online and trying to find out what the image was. And I talked about things like doing a screen capture and searching with Google's reverse or whatever search it is and so on. But in the meantime, I found something else. Before I go into it at any length, can I ask for a sort of show of hands of everybody who is familiar with Google Lens, Lens? It's in the Chrome browser.
There's some pretty cool options in Google Lens.
Yeah.
Is it a filter or what is it?
Well, Steve may be able to explain it better, but the thing is, if you're in the Google browser, and unfortunately, I can't remember how I found the thing. It is now up on my, whatever it's the toolbar or whatever, it has little icons for doing different things. And it says search with Google Lens. And what you do is take your cursor and drag across an image diagonally, basically, assuming that the image is some kind of rectangle. And as soon as you let go of your finger, it pops up with a bunch of possible answers for what it is.
Well, it's good for people who go to it's good for people who go to Goodwill, thrift stores who are looking to find things that might be worth money. They take a picture with the Google Lens and it tells them how expensive it is. For a lot of people can, redefine it as to how much the retail price was, if you sell it, that kind of thing. So I've seen a lot of people use it for that kind of thing.
Cool.
Because it'll search. You take a picture of the item and then it'll search and say comparable items and prices.
Interesting.
So I don't know what other things you use it for, but that's the 2 people I know who use it. That's what they use it for.
Well, what originated this with me was one of those sort of clickbait. It was before Christmas, so it was cool things to buy for Christmas gifts or whatever. And the come on image before you clicked on it was a little box shaped thing that might have been a camera, might have been God knows what. And of course, I clicked through all 30 gift suggestions in the posting there, and it per usual it never showed up. So the next time I accidentally ran into it when it popped up on my screen, I did use the Google Lens, and it pretty much told me that it was AI. In other words, the thing that there was the come on to the gift list was non-existent.
Yeah, so it puts a little camera icon next to the search bar in the Google app on your device.
The Google app? Which Google app?
The one just called Google.
What's that?
Are you actually getting it into Chrome too?
Getting it into Chrome. It was in the Chrome browser, which I am now too. And when I don't know if I had to pick it from a list of something that came up or what, if I had to go to the little vertical ellipsis bar thing, and go into settings or something like that. Search with Google Lens is on that list. If you click on the vertical three dots up on the right hand corner of Chrome, it opens up a list of setting type stuff or whatever, or shortcuts and yada yada. And down lower in it, it says search with Google Lens. And when I clicked on that, it brought this little icon up on my whatever you call it bar. And that has stayed there. So now if I'm looking at anything and want to know what it is, I can just click on that and then do the click and drag and let go thing, and it will tell me.
Yeah, I'm just seeing the search by image option.
Search by image with Google Lens, right?
Yeah.
Right. So.
Okay. All right, there we are. Now I've got the drag cursor. So if I drag over top of someone, it just did a search, and you can't see it on the Mastermind share screen. It brought a search result up to the right hand side of the thing I clicked on.
Huh. But we can't see it through Mastermind Lounge.
Yeah, it's not in the tab. It's in a different tab. Let me see.
Well, you could take a screenshot of it, couldn't you, and show us the screenshot?
I could share the whole screen, but then we'll get into a infinite regression.
Infinite, yeah, there you go.
So do the window, Mastermind Lounge, share, infinite regression. Alright, so now I'm back to the Temu page. So are you seeing the menu I pulled down?
I'm not.
Can't really read anything, no.
Yeah. So it's part of the window, but not. No, that's on top of the window. So yeah, so like Charlie said, the three dots in the upper right corner of Chrome. There's a search with Google Lens. And now let me drag on that dragon. And off on the side, it found other places. I'm not seeing it on my screen share. And we're just getting the infinite regression. So it works in Chrome and it works in the Google app on iPhone, iPad, and Android.
Steve, I'm not familiar with is the Google app different from the Google browser, so to speak?
Yes, the Google browser is Chrome.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, for websites. The Google app is for searching. There's a very subtle difference.
And there's also Google Apps that you can access through any browser.
Well, that is a
preferably,
website, yeah.
Preferably the Google Chrome browser, as far as Google is concerned.
The other neat thing that the Google app can do, let me stop sharing, and can you see, here we are, there's a translate button. So you can point it to a sign in most any foreign language, and it will translate that into English for you.
And is it more accurate than when you try and translate things online?
Well, it's a lot faster than retyping the text on the sign if you even know how to type those characters.
I mean, like if you're, well, like say on Facebook, and it says like translate, the translations are usually horrid.
Well, this is for translating signs.
So signs are recognizable in theory, phrases that should be translated. But that's the problem. Is like, well, not for a word or something, but when it could be a recognizable phrase, but it translates words, and you don't get the right phrase.
Yeah, I remember reading translated um, popular corporate slogans like Kentucky Fried Chicken, finger licking good. Um, Translated literally came out to so good you can eat your fingers, or tasty eating fingers.
You bring to mind another issue that is maybe sort of a Q&A or Apple News thing or something like that, but I have seen recently more than one article about Apple's artificial intelligence making up bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like it's I think their response to it is that I don't know if they said it was still in beta
Yep.
or whatever. It's sort of in not ready for prime time status.
Yeah, there was a big mess a couple weeks ago where Apple's text summary summarized a BBC article badly. Um, um, I think it was um, the guy that shot the CEO, healthcare CEO, and it didn't even. Yeah, it said something about he shot himself.
Right. And I think that might have been their summary of a BBC article. And so the problem that arises is that these longstanding, fairly legitimate news organizations are now having to, sue Apple because they're citing, for example, BBC article and getting it wrong.
Yeah. So that's become known as hallucinations in the AI industry, where it just makes up something or gives you the wrong answer. Sometimes you can type back, "That's not right, try again," and it will.
Yeah, but if people are looking at a news item like that and they don't know it's not right, then it's just going to stand there.
So that's become an issue that news organizations have to worry about. The AI gets it wrong.
It also brings up that interesting note about Facebook not doing fact checking anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I saw an interesting post on Facebook. Someone said, Mark Zuckerberg, recipient of first monkey penis transplant operation, comma, and also Facebook not checking facts anymore. Must be true. I saw it on Facebook.
As if we didn't have enough trouble with disinformation already.
Right. Well, then each side complains that whose facts are you checking against?
Well, the thing about AI is that it's designed to make things that are grammatically correct and sound believable, but there's no attempt to make it all true.
Yeah, they basically fed the internet in and let it digest the internet, good and the bad, and sometimes the bad pops out too. So now we have to have another word. So since the 70s, artificial intelligence has basically meant, human-like intelligence in machines. Now, Apple for years just called it a large learning model or an LLM, but the rest of the industry has jumped on the AI, artificial intelligence bandwagon. So now, artificial general intelligence is becoming the new term for, human-like intelligence in a machine. So because the industry picked the wrong word for a subject, we had to make a new word for the real subject. And a clever regurgitator is one of the best descriptions I've read about AI. So you type a search into Google and you get a bunch of websites about an answer, some true, some not true. You type the same search into ChatGPT, and you get a nicely worded paragraph that you have no idea where it came from and if it's true or not.
Right.
But the true goal of artificial general intelligence is nowhere nowhere close to what the AIs are working on now. And I got a kick out of Apple calling it Apple intelligence instead of AI being artificial intelligence. But it's probably the dumbest of all of the three.
Maybe they shouldn't have used their own name in that.
Well, it's from some of the industry insiders are theorizing that Apple was behind on artificial intelligence research, and so they to appease the stockholders, they had to release something saying, yeah, we've got one too. So Google and Microsoft have both been pushing this for years. Apple has been saying large language models and neural engine and neural processing. Even that's kind of a loaded word because it's not really neurons. Yeah, we don't have billions of neurons in a chip yet, so we don't have organic computers to generate AI. That may be what it takes. We talk about some of our chips that have 30 billion transistors in them. Maybe we need to get 300 billion before they come alive, decide we're not worth saving and kill us all, right? We keep passing the Skynet dates every time they change the date in the movies. We keep going past it, and Skynet hasn't killed us all yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're doing
Any other
CES
questions
tonight, is that right?
Well, did anyone go to CES? Is anyone at CES? Because it's actually still going on this week. I was skimming the headlines, and there didn't seem to be anything much Mac specific. It's it's gadgets that will be available this fall. Originally, CES was designed for electronics purchasers, for like Best Buy and whatnot, to see what was coming out that Christmas so they would know what to be able to buy. Block. I don't want to
So
see
they would buy it
notification.
and then with the idea of reselling it to
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There was a news reporter who was at CES who showed all these things, all these booths or display, whatever exhibits for AI.
Yeah, AI is a big buzzword. Everybody's putting AI into things. TV companies are putting AI into their televisions. Delta had a huge presentation inside the Sphere, which is that giant golf ball looking thing in Las Vegas. So they had this amazing wraparound picture. Where was the one? I saw a great picture of an airplane cockpit, because it's also the 100th anniversary of Delta Airlines. And of course, I'm not going to see it again. Samsung did show. That's the problem. Nobody's releasing anything. They're just talking about it, and we don't even know if what gets talked about will actually get released. Sometimes it's just gauging interest. Yeah, here it is. So Samsung showed off an OLED with a 500 hertz refresh rate. And people were complaining that 240 hertz looks too real. How many people saw the Hobbit movies in 48K at the theater? Normally, oops, make that bigger. Normally, movies are at 24 frames per second, and Peter Jackson did a couple of them at 48, and a lot of people complained that it looked too real. It didn't look like a movie. It looked like a window. Well, that's kind of what we want. for movies. We want to get caught up into it. So who knows if this is going to be available, if ever. Wraparound monitors. LG did announce a series of 6K monitors to go along with Apple's. Yeah, pretty much everything says these are pre-announcements. No one knows the price. No one knows when they're going to be available. Qualcomm announced a bunch of new chips that are going to power um, uh, next generation PCs. They're trying to catch up to Apple's M series. Intel keeps falling farther behind because they never got into the class of Apple's chips. Robot vacuums have been common almost every CES, and now there's one that has an arm so it can pick up your socks. But then people always post about the robot got caught on a piece of cat poop and pushed it all over the house, smearing it everywhere. Last year there was a robot toilet paper.
Oh my God! This robot vacuum
grabber
can pick up socks
that would
left on the floor.
go grab toilet paper for you while you're sitting there, so you didn't have to get up and walk to the cupboard yourself while you're busy. So it's neat if the robot can get things out of the way so it can keep vacuuming. Let's see. So smart glasses are also another rage. Meta has a pair, and let's see. Oh, the holiday smart glasses from Ready Player One. Only $500. So we're seeing a lot of AR glasses in the $500 to $1,000 range, and there have been reports that the Apple Vision Pro has ceased production from the supply chain rumors. But that could be just because there's a new version coming. Excuse me. But trying to get smart glasses. One of the ultimate goals is you walk up to someone that you know, but you can't quite remember. And then your smart glasses tell you, oh, that's Joe. You met him at this party, and he's got a wife and kids, to remind you of things that you should remember. Or like they were just showing, they can translate a text for you right in your eye. So that's kind of one of the goals.
Steve?
Yep, go ahead, Charlie.
I've seen news about these smart glasses or whatever they're called from various companies recently, but what was the one a few years back that I believe it was Google put out?
Google Glass, yep.
Okay, Google Glass, right. And for some reason that was discontinued. I don't know whether it was because of privacy issues or what, but I'm curious as to what's different about these newer ones in comparison to the Google Glass, because it certainly sounds like some of the new ones at least will just invade the privacy of anybody you walk by on the sidewalk if you want.
That was one of the problems with Google Glass. Probably the main problem was it was too early. Came out in 2013. And at the time it was too expensive for $1,500. But they always said it was a development project, and it looked stupid.
It was too highly recognizable, and
to have this giant camera pointed at everybody.
Backlash about it whenever anyone would walk into a bar or something. They'd say, "Oh, you can't come in here with that." So,
yep. So there came a term called glass hole for people that were wearing Google Glass in public.
So essentially, what's going to happen now is the same thing, only in a less obtrusive appearance. And privacy be damned, and so forth.
Yeah,
This,
probably until the cameras disappear such that you really can't tell the difference between normal glasses and the smart glasses.
and that's what they're working towards. So
Yeah.
these are the Snap spectacles from a couple years ago, and so they're obviously very very big and obtrusive. But if we get into the actual smart glasses that look like real glasses, let me get back to that guy's picture. That that looks like the safety glasses my dad wore his whole life in the lab. I don't want to see that picture. I want to see the area.
Yeah, the rim size has to come down more yet
Yeah.
before it's going to be accepted, I think.
But there are a lot of personal safety concerns about someone might be recording. Although there's so many security cameras everywhere that you're almost always on camera somewhere, usually 2 or 3.
Yeah, and people have so many iPhones now too. It's the same issue. It's just,
Yeah.
I think, a psychological difference between, oh, this person is recording with glasses rather
Yep.
than, oh, they're using their iPhone.
Holding up a phone is a lot more obvious that you might be recording.
Yeah.
Than having glasses. Let's see what else was interesting in CES. A wristband for the Vision Pro. There was rumors that Apple was going to open an API for the Vision Pro so that you could use a game controller. Because one of the big things that the Vision Pro is really good at is gaming, but right now it only does hand gestures. So now this additional wristband will allow you to do closer gestures for being able to control things inside. Let's see, and they're calling it a neural wristband. Read your brain signals. So now you got to wear a thing on your head.
I think a lot of people were blown away when the Apple Vision Pro came out, and that it could actually see what your hands were doing and transfer your gestures into like on-screen interaction.
A lot of concept cars have been shown the last few years with a full panoramic display instead of a dashboard. Apple was talking about that for a new version of CarPlay, and they said it's not going to make it this year. And several car companies have said they're not going to use Apple CarPlay anymore. They want to do their own system. And then one of the concerns was that especially companies like BMW are going to start charging extra for services. I think I read, I don't remember if it was a rumor or true, that you had to pay a subscription fee to get heated seats. That goes back to the pay-per-click, take it to the absurd extreme.
Steve, I think that was our own Ken Schultz and a Subaru.
Oh yeah,
with the heated seat subscription.
Have to pay extra for it, yeah.
Yeah, the BMW thing it's like a year and a half, 2 years ago that they were talking about that. I don't know if they've given up on it, or they probably have given up on it by now.
Especially a high-end company like BMW that already demands a top-tier price. You're going to nickel and dime people more. Although people that buy high-end cars have extra nickels and dimes to put toward it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it becomes absurd.
Yeah, they may switch to something other than heated seats.
Yeah. Couple of flying cars. I'm surprised it's indoors. They might have the demo outside. Oh, they actually run the blades up indoors. So the joke has been we have flying cars. They're called helicopters, and they're really, really loud, and you have to have a lot of skill to fly them. What we want to do is point to a destination on the map and let it fly itself. But no, that's not going to work that way.
Well, they
So,
are trying to get it that way.
eventually, yeah.
They'll do flying taxis first, I think.
We can't even get autonomous cars to drive properly.
Yeah.
There was a report a couple of weeks ago where Tesla slammed full speed into a deer standing in the road at night because it didn't recognize it as an obstruction.
Also, there was a Tesla that, and I can't remember, it was some big executive. The car, he couldn't get out of the car. It wouldn't let him out of the car.
I almost got trapped like that once with a customer. We started doing a software update. You have to do a software update in your car, but it
Yeah.
warned you to unlock the doors and get out of the car because during the update, all the car functions are basically blocked. Nothing works. So if you're in the car, you can't unlock the door.
It might have been like one of the chip maker guys,
Yeah.
or it was somebody, a real big executive.
When I have a question sort of on that subject, there's all this talk about all the data that your car collects on you,
Yeah.
and that ends up in the hands of the car manufacturer and then whoever else they sell it to. And I've wondered in the past whether that meant that every car, in essence, had its own cell phone number. But is that data transmission from the car to the corporation by cell phone or by satellite?
Both, one or the other, or both. There was a report. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. Somebody issued a report about all of the information that all of the cars are passing back to their owners and associated companies, like insurance companies. They said Hyundai was one of the worst in what their terms explained what they were actually sharing. That's not what I want. And so most of the time, there it is. The cars that had a security disclosure telling you what they were doing a lot more than they were telling you. But very few car companies actually have a privacy disclosure about what they're collecting. So the Mozilla Foundation reviewed 25 different brands and found out that all of them were horrible, but some of them were worse than others. Most all of them sell your data. You have no control over what data they're getting. So I've got, Shirley and I both have the Allstate ODBC adapters that plug into the car. So you get a discount for safe driving, and right now you get no discount for unsafe driving, which they consider driving over 80 miles an hour or sudden braking. What's interesting is it doesn't distinguish between sudden braking because you're driving too fast or sudden braking because there's an accident in front of you.
What's it called?
Allstate has a safe driving thing that plugs into a data port on your car.
Lots of insurance companies
Yeah.
have something like that.
I imagine they probably all do. And that must have some sort of a cell chip in it, or just no, because I never hooked it to our Wi-Fi, but it reports, and then I can use the Allstate app to look at the settings on it. So it must be reporting over cellular. But back to Charlie's question, a couple years ago, there were a lot of several exploits where people were able to take over driving control of a car through the cell phone number, because every car did have a cell phone number. Incoming calls were not blocked, and every car had a sequential number. So like all of GM was 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 10, and so they were able to probe different cars and found a car, and they were on was it 2020? It was either Barbara Walters or Leslie Stahl. in the car driving down the street, and someone took remote control, showing how it works. But they came from the Pwn to Own white hat hacker competition. So now the car companies are randomizing their cell phone numbers, and they're not allowing incoming calls. Which, why did they allow incoming calls to begin with?
See, one of my questions relating to this is just the sheer number of additional telephone numbers this would involve, because we've had things like area codes having to be split and so forth over the years, and I apologize. I think I asked you about this question a long time ago, but I just can't imagine how, if there are millions of cars on the road in this country, how they've come up with that many additional cell numbers, and not crash the system, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well, when they went to the new dialing plan, the old area codes had to have either 0 or 1 as the second digit, and the new can be any of all 10 digits. So that's a 5-fold increase in the number of area codes that there can be. So they're probably doing okay with the number of telephone numbers.
All right. Well, I suppose it's not my problem to worry about, but
yeah,
it just
So 10.
My take on it is, if your car has a SIM card in it, remove the SIM card.
Then you can't use it as a hotspot, which I always thought was a stupid feature to add to the car, because your phone already has that. But yeah, if you can find the SIM card in the car.
Yeah.
But back to Charlie, there are 10 trillion possible phone numbers with a 10-digit phone number. So we won't run out of phone numbers for a while.
Well, the smart TVs do the same thing.
But they generally connect to the internet. You'd connect your TV to your Wi-Fi or Ethernet.
Okay.
But in a car, it's got to be cellular or satellite. We're starting to see low bandwidth satellite coming online for phones. Apple is offering that in, what is it, the 14 and 15? You can do text messaging over satellite. And in the 16, you can do some voice calls over satellite. And you don't have to have what used to be a very big satellite phone with a really long antenna.
Yeah.
So that's starting to come down into lower use. You look at the GPS antenna on the back of your car, that little shark fin is pretty small. And it's able to connect to GPS satellites. Typically, you would need to connect to 4 satellites to get your X, Y, and Z coordinates. So more and more communications happening more and more ways. In fact, who is it? SpaceX just launched a satellite for the UAE, I think it was, to put up more broadband coverage. And then today, another 20 or 30 Starlink satellites went up. It's getting crowded in space.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to post this car link into the public chat. So you might want to look to see if your car is on that list and how much data your car is pulling.
Not only does Starlink have now thousands of satellites, but I believe that China is also launching thousands of them.
Yep.
I'm not sure whether there's somebody else. I don't know. Russia has its own GPS system apparently, but I don't know how bad everything's gotten.
Well, space is really big, but the problem is, to get to an orbit, you may have to pass someone else's orbit. And so the low Earth orbit is starting to get crowded.
And there's an awful lot of busted up trash in it.
That's the other problem too. And there's a cascading effect that if one satellite either explodes or there's a collision, you got all that more debris, which then can cause even more debris. which what the movie Gravity with George Clooney and Sandra Bullock took to that absurd extreme, but theoretically possible. See, we've run into so many issues lately where something is theoretically possible suddenly becomes, oh my God, we have to ban that because it's theoretically possible. And it's people are getting just too out of proportion on some things. Um, let's see. Let's go back to did anyone else actually look at any of the CES stuff and see anything interesting?
No.
It was the 40th anniversary of the Commodore 128. Let me bring that back up again. Anyone have a Commodore 128?
Nope, only 64.
Yeah, so CES is still going to go on for a couple more days. There's a possibility something else interesting might get announced, but usually they come out in the first couple of days. One of the big things is there's a, what do they call it? So part of the problem with CES is it's so huge. It takes up almost every convention center and hotel and whatnot in Las Vegas. And most of the journalists don't want to have to go to everything. Let me see if I can bring this up. So that they walk in the door, they look at the first thing there, and see is that cool, and then they go write an article, and then they hit the free buffet and free drinks bars. Now here, 163-inch micro LED TV. We all need one of those. So CES is often where companies show the biggest TV, and every year someone wants to have the even biggest TV and the next biggest TV. So 163 inches, so that's bigger than a wall. Nope, so 150 inch was their last TV. Rollable displays, so they're kind of taking the foldable display from a phone that folds in one place and allowing it to roll up. Do they have a video of it? So that it can be smaller or bigger.
Hey, it's another Lenovo laptop, the ThinkBook Plus Gen 6. Well, that's...
Oops. Too many resources, no ad. That wasn't the ad, that was the video I wanted to watch. But that's that was a big thing in, what was that Roddenberry show? Andromeda, where everyone had a computer that was just like a little stick, and you rolled it open, and there's your screen, and the farther open you rolled it, the bigger your screen was. So sometimes it's nice, you've got a smaller 14-inch laptop, but say you want a bigger screen, so it'll stretch out to be a bigger screen. And hopefully not as heavy as so we had a customer bring a 17-inch laptop in the other day, and it's just so heavy. He said he bought it for his wife because she wanted the big screen, and then she never used it because it was too heavy. Let's see, that's Tom's Hardware. Who else had something interesting? Let's see what CNET, the must-sees. Giant suction cups to stick to your wall so you don't have to drill holes anywhere. Yeah, I'd like trust that to not fall off the screen or fall off the wall.
Make sure you put it over your couch and then sleep under it.
Yeah. Zero emission EVs, so there's usually a car pavilion with the latest EV prototypes. A roll-up projection screen, that's pretty good. So it rolls out of the way when you're not using it and then rolls up when you want to use it. Although projection screens were a big deal for a while until giant TVs got cheap. I think one of my customers was telling me he got an 85-inch TV on Black Friday sale for $800, I think it was. Seems like every the $500 mark, you can get a 65-inch now for under $500. Next year it'll probably be a 75-inch for under $500.
Price Right had Vizio 65 inches for $300. Walmart $227 for a TCL 65 inch.
Yep. And then they break in 2 or 3 years. You buy a bigger one at the same price. But a lot of companies are doing ultra short throw projectors. Let me go back to that one. So one of the issues with the projector has always been you got to mount it in the ceiling and then project onto a blank wall because you can't put it on a table anywhere because stuff is in the way. So now with the ultra short throw projectors, the projector sits in front of the screen and projects it basically straight up. So you can get a bigger monitor. Oh, I did see one of the websites did a 2,000-inch TV to go along with Weird Al's movie or song, Frank's 2,000-inch TV. Combined it with 3 projectors in a giant hangar. They were able to play Mario Brothers. The entire Mario Brothers level fit on one screen. They didn't have to scroll side to side at all. Weird EVs. So solar charged. More robot vacuums with little tiny legs so it can get over gaps. So now we need to add the little tiny legs to the arm. Yeah, this was the sphere picture. So you can see over here on the left, those are people in seats. This sphere is just monstrous. Portable gaming consoles are getting bigger. They're not that portable anymore. There's that roll-up screen again. The one thing I liked a couple of years ago, and it's actually out now, is fold-out screens that you attach to the back of your laptop, and they fold out from each side, so you get another 6 or 8 inches on each side, and you end up with 3 separate screens, or you can make it one virtual desktop, and it doesn't add that much weight to the computer itself to be able to carry around a bigger screen. Battery powered TV, that's how they don't have any wires dangling. Only $5,000 for 55-inch. Fancy new graphics cards. A stretchable screen, so you can do 3D screens. This I saw this and I'm thinking why. They called it a toaster to charge your phone. Why does it need to be so big and expensive, $450? And why does it cover the entire phone? So now you can't use it as a photo dock the way most of them do now. Like robot vacuum cleaners, we got robot lawnmowers now. I always thought about taking a self-propelled lawnmower and putting it on a chain and then having it just go around and around the center post. And as the chain wound up, the lawnmower got closer and closer and would mow the whole lawn. Yeah, there's the one for the socks. There's satellite internet for when you're way off grid. Appliances, more and more smart appliances coming out. I can see maybe having recipes, but stick an iPad next to it. There's a refrigerator that has a controllable translucent door, so you can push a button and it goes transparent, so you can see what's in it without holding the door open and wasting energy. And there's cameras inside the refrigerator, so it knows when you're low on milk and can send you a text. We're low on milk, low on eggs. Smart watches. Making your own soda is big. Soda stream. You buy syrup and carbonation CO2 separately and mix it together yourself. Theoretically a lot cheaper. And now they're doing sparkling water. A lot cheaper than buying soda if you buy an awful lot, but it's $50 to buy the thing and 70 cents for the cartridges. That's a lot of soda. CO2 infused. The past few years there've been smart sensors for your plants, so it can tell you if it needs watering or not, if it needs more sunlight or not. Oh, here's one of the flip-out monitors to attach to your laptop. $175,000 robot that's almost human. That's quite creepy. Really in the uncanny valley there. So as the week progresses, we might see more things. Oh, here's a cute fuzzy robot. Isn't it adorable? Sensors to interact with people. A tortilla robot. Yeah, that's what I need. Make a tortilla for you. I saw a pizza vending machine that was filled with raw ingredients, and it made the dough, made the crust, put the tomato sauce down and the toppings on it in like 10 minutes. So a lot of crazy things at CES. Most of the time we'll never see any of them. A lot of them are just concepts. Companies like to have patents, so let's see what we can do. Sometimes it's gauging interest. Is this popular? Maybe we will put it into a product. Did we lose? Yeah, Lyle isn't here. So next month, Lyle is going to be talking about tax aid from AARP. He and Ken are both tax helpers with AARP. Get your taxes done for free, especially if they're not very complicated.
Steve,
Yep.
are you going to do next week's board meeting on Google Meet or in Mastermind?
I'll probably do Mastermind again. Nick
Okay.
got me back in.
All right. Thank you.
So Apparently the front end and the back end use different passwords, and my passwords got out of sync, so I couldn't log into the back end until I changed the password to the front end.
Help me out with which end is which.
We're technically we're using the back end now. So the front end is designed for instructors to sell classes.
All right.
And I could never get it to work because no one bought the class. You have to buy the class, even if it's free. Someone has to buy the class and sign up for it. Then it lets you start the class. But this is the back end where you just have a session and open it yourself at will.
All right.
I'll buy it for free.
Yeah.
Okay, is that pretty much it?
That's pretty much it, yeah. Anybody have any other questions on anything?
Linda, you're muted. Can't hear.
If I hold up, I get this, every once in a while, this flashes on my screen. It says, QI space CHEN.
Chi-Chen?
Yeah. Oh, here, I'm not holding it very well, am I?
You got to find the camera.
Oh, well, I took this picture with the camera.
Okay, but I mean, you're trying to hold it up to the camera. You got to hold it where the lens is, which is hard to gauge with your hand out.
Oh, with my. All right.
You're too okay.
I can
Go
see
towards your nose.
Yeah.
And go straight ahead.
Okay, over here.
I can see the thing fine.
Okay, it's just as small. I was trying to get it to where.
All right, so it's a couple of hands, and it says what, clean or something?
No, QI space CHEN.
Let me do a smart search here. Hold it back
Chicken?
up to the camera a minute.
Chicken?
Oh,
No,
yeah,
it's Chi-Chen. That's somebody's name.
Okay, here.
So it just pops up at any time.
Yes, I was able to take a screenshot, but
You've got something installed.
Then does it disappear too? Like it pops up and then it disappears?
yes. And I tried searching, like in applications especially, but I just searched.
Well, it wouldn't be an application. It would be in settings.
Oh.
It could be a notification window. I'm trying to.
Maybe it's an instant message that has an image on it.
No, I'm thinking it's a notification. But I'm going to try to do a reverse image search. If I can find where I saved that
I didn't know
picture.
if that translate would work.
Well, that's Chi-Chen is somebody's name.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm going to crop this down and send that into Google Image and see if Google Image can figure out what it is. Desktop screenshot. And now, did you install anything for Holly to show off the colors for the Holly Indian holiday?
No. No.
Yeah, I'm not finding anything exactly like that. Let's see. Is there any other text on the page anywhere?
There is, but you can't read it.
Are people able to share their iPhone screens through Mastermind?
No.
Oh, there is like a thing at the bottom. It says Safari from Linda's MacBook Pro. But the text under I think it might be in Chinese, and you can't, it's not legible.
Yeah,
No.
it's probably something that accidentally got installed somewhere. Maybe a website notification. Where are notifications on Safari? So settings, notifications, then down to Safari. SA. Nope, no Safari notification setting. We had a customer the other day that got hit by calendar spam. Someone was inviting him to a calendar event, and the invitation was all spam.
Okay, well, okay, so the next thing is yesterday I was making two phone calls and the screen went black. And I was trying to, enter a number for the, person that I wanted, or the, department that I wanted. And I couldn't because it was black. So I ended up turning it off and turning it on. And then it happened again, but I haven't really called that many people today. Have you heard of anything? I think I
How
tried looking it up.
how full is your battery?
Oh,
Maybe the battery got low, or maybe you accidentally pushed the sleep button on the side. If you're
oh, which one's the sleep button?
on depends on the phone, but on mine, sleep is on the left and the volume buttons are on the right.
Okay,
And so
oh,
the way you hold it, it's easy to accidentally push the sleep button.
oh, I push that when I'm doing a screenshot.
You gotta push something else with the screenshot.
I push these two on facing
Yeah,
it's on.
yeah. The volume up and sleep do a screenshot.
Okay.
If you hit just sleep, it goes to sleep,
Oh, okay, maybe I
which
did.
blacks out the screen.
Okay. Well, the other thing is, you got to press that twice to
Yeah,
install.
you push it twice fast, and that brings up Apple Pay.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe it was that because I have trouble doing that sometimes. Okay.
Do you want to send me that screenshot of that picture, Linda?
Sure.
And
Sure.
maybe I can dig into it and figure out what it is.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
But it's probably in the Safari notification somewhere. Some website is sending you a notification.
Okay, well, I was concerned that I was being hacked by Chinese. And the other thing in notifications is I cannot figure out how to get an alert for a text alert. I just don't get them. And I'm confused about focus and haptic, and I might have to come down to MacAv.
Yeah. So so a haptic means it physically vibrates.
Okay.
Focus is a setting where you can say typically do not disturb is the focus. So then nothing vibrates, nothing dings.
Right,
If
and
you
on the
turn
do
off
not
all the focus, then it will ding and make noises at you.
well, the do not disturb, I can't figure out how to turn it off.
You untap it. So when if with do not disturb on, oh, you can't see it now. With
Okay,
do not disturb on, it's highlighted. To turn it off, I tap it again, and it turns off.
okay, what's it under now?
In the control center. Is a quick way to get to it, or
Yeah,
it's somewhere in settings.
okay, all right, so that might be
Yeah,
on.
it's under focus in settings.
Okay, so focus. All right, so do not disturb. Okay, yep. So it's purple,
Right. So that's where
but
you can set your focuses. And so to turn it on or off, you just swipe at the upper right corner to bring up control center, and then you've got the do not disturb focus setting in the column in control center.
okay, so I've got people not allowed, apps not allowed.
Yeah, so you can change all the settings for the different focuses.
Oh my, this is confusing.
It used to
All
be
right, but
just do not disturb, but then they added a driving focus, a sleep focus, a study focus, so
yeah,
you can choose all the different things that you can change in your focuses.
okay, so it says, oh, all right. Uh, will be all others will be silenced.
Yeah, so if you turn all the focuses off in control center, then you should get your notifications.
Oh wait, okay, so wait, then when I go into it, it says allow, I'm allowing. I don't, I'm gonna have to come down because I get confused about a lot of things. Okay,
Yeah,
all right. Um, that's it for me.
cool. Alrighty, anybody have anything else? Or do you want
Okay,
to?
I
All
have
right.
a dumb question. I mean, it's not a dumb question. It's I'm dumb, but because I know the answer. Um, so when I got the iPhone 11, um, it had you do a numerical, passcode thing instead of the password to get into it. And after doing that for months, I forgot my password. So now I can't get in my old phone because I forgot the password because I used the same password on those two phones. So there's no way for me to get into the phone without my password, right? Without resetting it.
Right, you have to erase it and start over,
Because
which also
I,
prevents a bad guy from getting into your phone without knowing the password.
I wish, why did they do that and take away the password and make you do the number thing?
It always was numbers. You have an option to make it alphanumeric.
Mine always had passwords that you had to type in to get into it, but they were always the fingerprint, the finger but this one's my first face phone and it had me do the number passcode.
Yeah, they started out with a 4-digit number and then they went to 6-digit number, or there's an option to go alphanumeric. And so each
See,
phone probably remembers what your last phone had. So once you started on alphanumeric, it stayed on alphanumeric. But
mine was always a password till I got this phone and it brought up the numbers, so I did the numbers. I didn't know there was a choice.
yeah, it's under options when you go into passcode.
They should just keep one standard so you don't screw up.
Yeah, 6 digits is the standard.
No, but I mean, all the other phones came in with passwords. This is the first one that
No,
ever gave me a number option. And
every iPhone has always been numbers by default. It was 4-digit numbers, and then they realized that's only 10,000 combinations, so it's easy to try them all. So then they went to 6 numbers, which is harder to try them all. But in both cases, there's an option to go alphanumeric rather than numbers. And so each successive phone has remembered what you've done on the previous phone.
Well, mine didn't, because I've never seen numbers before this phone. I didn't even know it existed.
On your previous phone.
Uh-uh.
Numbers is the only way it's ever been unless you change it.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if maybe my first phone was refurbished, if that has something to do with it, but mine's always been passwords. I never had a number code until this phone.
So then someone who had your phone before you changed it, because it's always been numbers unless you change it.
So do you think because I bought a refurbished phone, that's why?
It should have been erased before they send it to you, and should have asked you for a numeric code.
No, nope. I never had numbers until this one.
So
I always have these weird things in me.
where did you get it from?
This one came from Straight Talk. All my other ones came from Track Phone.
That should have been factory reset. Surprises me that it wasn't.
This one, oh, I don't remember if this was new or refurbished. No, I don't remember.
Yeah, but if you forget your passcode, the only way around it is to erase it and start over. Then you have a secondary iCloud lock. If you're logged into your iCloud account, you have to have your iCloud password to continue using the phone. And that's all part of the anti-theft measures.
If you're in your iCloud account, you have to have.
So even after you erase the phone, it will ask for your iCloud password to prove ownership of the phone.
Oh, I have no idea what an iCloud password would be.
Then
I've never gone.
Then you have to go to iforgot.apple.com and reset it.
No, I've never been to iCloud. So would I have a password
You would have had to create it.
if I've never been there?
You do it on the phone.
I mean, would I have created it when I first got the phone, or would the first time I go to iCloud?
The first time you get any Apple device, it has you set up an Apple account.
So the Apple ID password?
Yes.
Oh, that's the iCloud password?
That's the password for all of Apple's services.
Okay. Except the phone, which I've forgotten now.
That's not an Apple service.
It's just a service of Apple.
No, it's a hardware device from Apple.
Right. I mean, no, all my track phone ones were always password, and then I got this one and it was numbers, and so I did numbers, and it was easier with the face because the face doesn't work. The finger works almost all the time, but the face doesn't. So you have to type it in a lot more. And I thought, oh, well, I guess that's why they did a number with the face one, because it's easier.
It always starts out as numbers, and then you can add the fingerprint or face depending on which phone it is. If it isn't working, you can go back in and reset the face and retrain it again.
No, but I mean, not working. You know, when you're wearing a mask or it's dark or whatever, it's like the face doesn't work a lot.
There's an option to tell it you're wearing a mask, and it will train itself with a mask.
I don't wear a mask often enough.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you know, it's on for whatever reason. I walked across the street and haven't taken it off yet. But no, I don't know. No, mine always came with passwords before.
Then they weren't factory fresh from Apple. Someone got into it before they gave it to you and changed the settings.
The laptop is a name.
Well, the computer has always been an alphanumeric, but iPad and iPhone has only been numeric, right, unless you change it.
I know my first one was refurbished, but like you said, they should have reset it, but I don't know. But no, it was definitely password. What about iPads?
iPads and iPhones have always been 4-digit numeric, and then they went to 6-digit numeric.
Okay, well, so would it have taken my iPad to an iPhone? Because my iPads were also passwords, I think, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah, you have the option of changing it when you create the numeric passcode. you have an option to change it to an alphanumeric passcode.
I wouldn't have changed it. If it came one way, I would have done what it said, and then that's what.
So if it's an alphanumeric passcode now, someone changed it before they gave it to you.
That's odd. How could someone do that if it wasn't set up?
There's no way to know.
Steve, I
That's
have a
typically
quick
why you
question.
just want to buy things from Apple so you know they're fresh. Yeah, go
I
ahead,
have
Charlie.
Yeah, you keep using the term alphanumeric, and I am apparently not crystal clear about what that means, because when I hear the word alphanumeric, I take it to mean that you can use either or a combination of numbers and letters,
Yeah,
as opposed to simply numeric, which would just be numbers.
right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All right.
Alphanumeric is usually a little faster to say than letters and numbers. Although it's about the same syllables, isn't it? Letters, numbers, symbols, special characters.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's different because that's like the password that you type in. Where the number only, that's like a number, like a phone keyboard thing that pops up that you just do the numbers on.
Right. They always started out with 4-digit numbers only, and then they went to 6-digit numbers only. But you could change it to letters and numbers if you wanted to. Yeah, just jump in, Rick.
Okay. I was wondering if we were going to discuss any of the cool things that people got for Christmas.
I kept asking and no one said anything, so I thought not.
Oh, okay. So I guess.
Well, we can quickly if you have got something cool.
I did get an 8 terabyte hard drive. I think the price was listed as around $100, so that was a good deal.
You need another one to back it up.
Yeah. Or I use that one for all the backups.
Yeah.
There was
that
a
reminds me of a
256 USB thumb drive. I think that was $20.
Well, I got an
200
iPad Mini, so that
256
was my
gigabytes?
trick thing.
Yeah, I thought I said gig. I'm sorry.
Terabytes? I'm sorry. Oh, see, my jokes don't even work because I'm too tired. I meant to say 256 terabytes.
There's a 20 terabyte drive for $200 from Seagate, so it's a name brand even.
Yeah, 8 terabytes for $100. Yeah.
External?
External hard drive. Yeah.
What brand?
Let me take a look. I'll be back.
Here's an 8 terabyte SSD for $600.
Oh, can you? Okay. Because my storage is full now on my iPhone, and I'm at the 299. I mean, on the cloud, and I'm at the 299 level, and it jumps up to $10, and I don't really want to spend $10. So, is there a way I can like get rid of stuff I don't, or can you hook an external like into your phone, or what? Am I just have to pay the $10?
It's from Evolution, spelled with an A.
I don't know that brand. Basically, Kim, yeah, you can connect a hard drive and copy things to it and delete it from the phone. But in essence, things have to be deleted from the phone, so they delete from iCloud.
I found that drive through Newegg.
Evolution. So, but how does it fill up if it's only 64? If my phone's only 64, is it just saving old copies and not deleting old copies? Or is it...
No, it saves everything you tell it to. If you go
So
into the
is-
iCloud settings, it will tell you where, settings, iCloud storage. It will tell you what the storage is consisting of.
So is it possible that I just take so many pictures that it uploads them, but doesn't keep them on the phone? So that's why I don't realize it, and it's just could that be?
Yeah, that's a standard setting. It offloads pictures
Okay.
you haven't opened recently to the cloud, so it doesn't take up as much space on your phone.
So everything in the cloud, it's legitimate, like one copies. It's not like there's 10 copies of my, like, not hard drive, but like phone storage. Like, it's not like it's got multiple copies.
Not unless you have multiple copies yourself.
Would it store?
I've got 90,000 photos on my iCloud, and it only doesn't show that much on my phone because it's too much.
Will my phone tell me how many photos I have?
Yeah, settings general about.
So if I had a phone and got a new phone, would it duplicate, save each phone's information separately, or would it just transfer the old one to the new one and save it once?
Depends on what information you mean. Each separate phone has its own separate backup, but the contacts, calendars, photos, and data is only stored once.
I'm guessing that the photos are my biggest.
Most of the time it is.
Or videos.
Videos take an awful lot. Yeah, you've got a lot of videos on your stuff, don't you, Shirley?
Yeah, I do. I try to go back through and delete stuff that I thought I wanted at one time that I don't want. I'm paying $10 for storage.
What?
I pay $10 for storage because I have too much.
But also in the Photos app, you can identify duplicates and delete them.
Yeah, that's a big thing to help free up space.
But how do you use that?
I don't know now. I mean, I would know.
Go into Photos and go to the duplicate library, and then you decide which one you want to delete.
Yeah, but it's one at a time, if I recall.
You can say merge all duplicates.
So basically, if you took a picture of something, and then you took a couple more pictures of it,
they wouldn't be duplicated.
Right, because they're slightly different. Each one is might be slightly different. So in which case you manually have to go back through and say, I only need one picture. I don't need 14 pictures of the same thing. But that's your problem because you took those pictures. It didn't make 14 copies of it unless you didn't know it.
I used one before. It was called Duplicate Photo Zapper.
Yeah.
And that you would set parameters, like if they were real close together.
Yeah, so like 4 photos taken within a second or two, you probably only need one of them. But which one? So it shows you your duplicate photos, and you pick which one you want to keep, or just merge them all together.
Right.
So most of my duplicates are things that I've saved twice accidentally.
Yeah, so I have a lot of those as well.
So this is basically a winter task. To sit down and spend a day and say, I'm going to go through my phone and I'm going to delete.
There's an old picture, Shirley.
Oh my God.
You're not even in that. That's before Shirley.
That's before me.
That's the Apple Cider group?
No, that's our friends from our Star Trek club.
Oh.
Before I joined. So it's before I met Steve.
I see.
And we're going to be married 30 years this year. So, it's over 30 years old.
Congratulations.
Yep.
Oh, you know what I wanted to show people? Does anybody watch TV laying down in bed?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Nope.
Okay, well, I found these glasses. They're called lazy readers. And they're like $15 or something, if that much, on Amazon. And so I lay down in bed and I put them, the TV reflects on the ceiling. But it saves my neck.
Oh, so you're laying back looking at the ceiling instead of sitting up and looking at the TV.
Right, because you're sitting up, you fall asleep, and
okay.
So are they mirrored glasses so that the TV is still where it normally is, but yet Oh,
So
okay.
is the words all still where you could read a word, or are they backwards?
Oh no, you can read the words, and I do like
Okay.
subtitles.
Okay, so it's like a
Okay. So
periscope then,
Yeah,
but
it says
it's
read at a 90-degree angle.
yeah.
okay. Sounds
And
interesting.
I love them, but you know what I do is because on the bridge, I put like layers of moleskin so it doesn't press so hard on my,
Yeah,
you know,
because it's putting weight on your nose because you're laying bad.
right. And these are supposed to be lightweight, but I guess I'm extra sensitive.
Now, will it work with books too? Like, could you put a book on your chest and then
It looks like it.
read
I
the
don't,
book?
Yeah, it looks like
I don't,
there's a whole slew of them.
right. I had bought a couple others and returned them.
So those are the ones you like.
Right, but that's just me. A couple I bought were just too heavy. I
Well,
really
if they were
like
using big, heavy glass prisms, yeah, I could see where they would be too
yeah,
heavy.
really like those ones that the doctors wear to see up close to you.
Okay, so like she
So
was late, like she's laid in bed and she's got the book prop or her iPad or whatever she's got.
Yeah.
So it can you just look up and it just projects whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
90-degree mirrors.
But then
Yeah,
you need
that way
something
you're
to
not
hold the book up too.
holding the book over your head, and when you fall asleep, you whack yourself in the head with the book,
Yeah.
right? So
And
you
does
avoid
it,
that.
No, it falls
can
down
you
on your
expand
chest.
the size of the print or whatever the picture like you would with an iPhone and pinch it bigger and smaller?
Well, look on the side there, the different pictures.
Yeah, I don't think this one magnifies, just reflects.
Okay, so if you wanted,
There's
if you
probably some
can't
that
see,
magnify and reflect.
well, I mean, as you know, if you can't read it because it's too far away, you know what I mean? Then you're squinting, which means if you can make it bigger, then you could see the words bigger or the picture bigger.
Well, you might also be able to use it with your normal prescription lenses too.
So
Yeah.
Well, the ones I have don't go over glasses.
Okay.
so what about light? Like, do you have to have a room light on, or does it reflect it in the dark, the TV, or does it have its own light?
No, I just watch TV in the dark because I'm hoping I'll go to sleep.
Okay, but that's good enough for you to see it on the
Right.
ceilings because it's dark.
Right. And I can't see close up. I can see far away. So
Okay, so wearing it for reading is probably not good then.
oh, well, those are I don't know. Never thought about it.
It's
Well,
more for TV watching than actual
Well,
reading a book.
okay, well, that should be your experiment for us for next month. Why don't you
Yeah.
read a book with it and then report back next
Yeah,
month?
report
and you
what
can
the
return
options you can
them.
do.
You can always return them.
Well, no, we're trying to see if maybe we want to buy some. So
Well,
you're going to
yes,
give us a demo over the next month. You're going to try and say, yes, I can read a book. No, I can't. I can do this. No, I can't. Do you know what I mean?
But you could try a pair and then return them.
Well, you have
You
them.
already
You're
have
all the
them,
work for us.
Linda. That's why we're asking you to do it.
Okay.
Oh,
You're going to
hello.
be our demo person. You're just going to try them out and report,
Hello.
right? And then you're going to say, no, you can do this. No, yes, you can. No, you can't. And then people can go, if they want them, they can do more further research themselves.
Just jump in, Charlie. Do you have them?
Yeah, no, but what I wanted to say is that we've been scrolling through these screens of them, and I happened to notice that on at least one of them, it said it could be worn over glasses.
Yeah.
So apparently
Yeah.
some can and some cannot.
and it looks like some maybe are meant more for reading than for watching TV too.
Right.
Well, you know, like there might be some that have reading prescriptions in them.
Right.
Yep.
Well, Linda, you just report on what your glasses do.
Okay, so where was that one that could be worn over glasses?
Looks like almost any of them.
See that?
Yeah. So you got your glasses on, and then you put these over front of them.
Be worn over spectacles.
Well, it'll be interesting because we all seem to be interested in that. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're all lazy.
We're all
We
lazy.
want to lay
Yeah.
in bed and
Here's
Well,
here's a
well, the big thing,
magnifier for a
the big
paper
thing
book.
for me was my neck.
well, yeah, because you're straining yourself as you lay there
Right, if you're
with your
propped up.
pillows or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Sure, I
Well,
can do that.
I guess we're all officially old, aren't we? This is of interest.
Yeah. Well, I wanted my granddaughter does it, but she has to wear glasses, and I didn't realize this for her. So
Oh,
I'll investigate.
okay. Well, there you are. Well, give us
Yeah.
a report, and
So
we'll see
Yeah.
if maybe we want to buy some
So you might have
Yeah.
to combine them. So this one magnifies.
for reading.
So you put the magnifier on, then you put the 90-degree one on.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, that was like, do you have to be lying back flat, or can you
Well, that's
adjust?
the point of it is you don't have to sit up and read like normal or watch TV like normal. You're laying in bed looking at the
Well,
ceiling.
what she's asking is the angle adjustable?
No, it's 90 degrees. No, it's not
Okay,
adjustable.
just 90 degrees. Okay.
Unless
So
we add adjustable up here.
Easy glasses for bed reading.
Yeah, it looks like that one's 90 degrees only. There might be an adjustable one if you dig through it enough.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's different,
Here it
like
is.
you can search for that.
Adjustable look down. Yeah, oops, there we go. You can rotate them to relax your neck.
Laying down, reading glasses, adjustable. Knitting, crocheting, watching,
Yes,
reading.
so this one's a clip-on, so you put it on.
Clip on your existing glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're
Nifty.
not that expensive.
No, that's not bad.
So, well, if anybody buys them between now and the next meeting, you can report on them.
Sold by
You know,
Coming
everybody-
Kwao by Huo Shanghan.
buy a
China.
different
Give us the
brand.
link for that one, Steve.
Do you know that, that with Amazon, with these certain items, they tell you if it's frequently returned? Have you seen that?
That would be under reviews.
Well, sometimes it's just a comment that I don't mean this item, but just in general, I didn't know if you realize
I think
that.
we need a tiny URL for that one.
Just search for
Oh
adjustable
my gosh, look at that.
glasses.
Who knew they had stuff like that? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even
Well, then
know how I.
you find something interesting, and then you go on the related item. Here's the one for the doctors use, the magnifier one. You might find something better when you're looking at the related items.
well, the magnifier would be good if you've got a thorn in your finger
Yeah.
and you're trying to, and you can't see it, but you can feel it, and you're like, where is it?
You could wear it shopping to look at the tags, the price tags.
$28, not bad.
Oh,
4 lenses, hands-free. So that's good craft. So when you need to have it magnifying, like you're doing cross stitch or you're doing beading, and you want to see better,
It comes with 4 different magnifications
that's not bad.
Wonder how heavy it is.
and a light.
Ooh, I may want those for my birthday. Take notes, Steve.
0.38
Oh, here's the
kilograms.
weight. That's kind of heavy. Well, it's a pound.
0.8 pounds.
Well, that's not bad. Depends on how much you can handle.
Well, that's why it's got a where did it show? It had a notch. There's a notch on the back that you can screw down and hold it on your head.
Okay. So then you have a headache. You're doing crafts and you have a headache, so then you got to stop. Right?
It's hard to read a book Or even the phone, even just looking at the phone, and because I have to expand like to read stuff. So that's if I could see the whole screen at once.
Yeah, I've got a pair like that that's really old, and they're great as magnifiers, but yeah, they can be wanky trying to adjust onto your head. It looks like that might be a better fit, though.
Here's the same thing in orange.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
My TV's on the floor, and I have a hospital bed. So if I sit up, like then I can see the TV. But then if I lower it, like then I'm further from the TV. But you also have to like because it's on the floor, so the foot of the bed's in the way and the other bed's in the way, so I can not see the whole screen. So the more I move, like certain places I can see most of the screen, and then certain places I can't. Like if I want to lie down on my side, then I can't see the TV. So it's very adjustable.
All right.
So I could put the glasses on in the bed, and I could go up and down and move the bed, move the glasses. Doesn't that sound like fun?
Okay, here I'll put mine on. Here they are.
So yeah, so now you can look and look at your keyboard straight down without. Yeah, then you can put your head back 90 degrees to see the screen.
Yeah, yeah. Yes. So it works great for me for the TV. I'll have to check out a book and stuff.
All right. Well, it's 9:30, past 9:30. So do we want to say goodnight tonight? We can always come back and talk at the board meeting if you want to join, Linda.
Okay, I'll think about it.
If you can do a little report then, if you've done enough stuff by then, we can just chit chat about it.
I just made up a tiny URL and put it into the public chat there. So if anybody needs that for the glasses, it's a little easier.
Okay.
If you click the three little dots, you can save the public chat as a text file.
I have heard of tiny URLs, but I don't really know about them. What's the deal?
So like in the public chat, I posted the Amazon link, which is really long.
All right.
So there are URL shortener services that shorten it down to something a lot smaller.
Yeah, okay.
And tiny URL is one of the more popular ones.
And so what Rick put in might explode to what you put up there first.
Right.
But does it do that in your address line or whatever, or does it just do it secretly and give you the right thing?
You go to the tinyurl.com website, and then they expand it and send you to, in this case, the Amazon website.
Well, what happens is you click on it. It goes to tinyurl. Tinyurl has a cross-reference table that looks up what was the original one, and then it sends you there.
Yep.
But it's all so that you don't see any of that.
Right.
It all happens.
So tinyurl sees every link you put in there, which is something to think about. You wouldn't do that for a private link.
No. Okay. But if it's something that you're interested in purchasing, it's convenient.
So did you go to tinyurl.com and then copy that whole big link that Steve put in?
Yeah, I just did a copy and paste and then said make it tiny, and it does. And that was what it gave back to me. And then I just copied it and put it in the chat to you folks.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
There's another one called short URL.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Google has one too. goo.gl. Google.
What is it?
goo.gl. So you can feed a big URL into it, and it generates a small one.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well, we'll see you all next time.
All right. Be well. Keep warm.
Yep. I'm gonna.
Yeah, keep warm.
I'm gonna stop the recording.
Well, it's supposed to start getting warmer,
Stop
so
the
that's
streaming.
Let's hope so.